IPOs, on the insurance side, are we likely to see IPOs from the insurance companies? Are we likely to see IPOs from the defense space? Because that's a space that the markets are at this point in time fairly excited about. Where could we see the next set of IPOs coming in from the public sector?
It would not be fair for me to name individual companies.
You can give us a sector.
Yes. But broadly speaking, what you said are the right sectors. And in these sectors, you will see various forms of minority stake sales through various methods, the SEBI-approved methods. And we, as you said, have a good target in mind and maybe exceed it so that all these small investors who have reposed their faith in us, we repay the gratitude back to them.
So how do you then respond, sir, to the comments that have come in from many market observers and market watchers who say that, look, the disinvestment story in India is dead?
I would refute that very strongly. We tend to pick up stereotypes very quickly. What is disinvestment needs to be understood very carefully. And if you see the evolution of this policy 25 years ago, when this department of the government was founded, it has been through four phases. The first phase was 1999-2004, which was a learning phase, or you can say an experimental phase. The second phase, that is 4 to 14, was a phase of political constraints or coalition constraints. That is a better word. And of course, the strategic disinvestment took a backseat. But the department continued with minority stake sales. The department continued to engage with the capital markets. The third phase, which is 16 to 21, we would say was the revival phase, when strategic disinvestment was revived. And revived in the right earnest, because you see, and the fourth phase, which is 21 onwards, which is called the Atmanirbhar Bharat PSC policy, is a phase of integrated disinvestment policy. And what that means is that disinvestment and closure are two sides of the same coin. At a micro level, they may look very different, but at a macro level or in a general equilibrium framework, they both create greater space for the private sector. And if you see, as many as 50 public enterprises have been taken up either for disinvestment or closure in the last 50 years. And that has yielded dividends. You see such an exciting private sector manufacturing growth. But we must not forget that public sector also has a fair, bona fide role to play in our economy. There are certain strategic sectors. There are certain public goods. There are certain public services. There are issues of inclusion which are not for profit in nature. That is where, and of course, now in the present global framework, maintaining the security of our global supply chains, of our raw materials, of our minerals, is equally important. And therefore, when we talk about the disinvestment policy today, it means public sector does its job that is due to it. The private sector does what is due to it. And we share wealth and value that public assets create with the people of India, with the citizens of India, and with our small investors.
So let me just push back a little bit on that, because the banking sector, for instance, the expectation was that we would see privatization. That is not the case. In fact, we had the DFS Secretary telling us that the government has no intention of bringing down holdings under 51% at this point in time. Telecom, another sector where the government has decided that from a strategic point of view, it does not intend to disinvest. So which are the sectors where strategic disinvestment is likely, where there is still an intent and an appetite to go forward with strategic disinvestment?
I would not like to comment beyond my pay grade.
So this is very much your pay grade. You're going to have to do this.
Okay, let me put it this way. I would not like to, say things which are beyond my immediate domain. But all I can assure you is that all major public sectors including the financial sector, which is the banks and the financial institutions, are part of our disinvestment framework. You may see one or two big strategic disinvestments, but you may see many more, maybe half a dozen OFS or follow-on offers or different forms of minority stake sales.
So half a dozen minority stake sales by way of OFSs, etc., but one or two strategic disinvestments. Let me guess which one or two of those strategic disinvestments it could possibly be. IDBI Bank, so we're talking about reforms, reloaded and accelerating reforms. It's been a disinvestment in the making for over a decade now. Are we going to close it this financial year?
Hopefully, yes. Honorable Finance Minister said it in an interview recently, and we are working hard day and night to make it happen.
By when will you invite the bids for IDBI Bank?
The only timeline given out in the media is end of the financial year. A lot of things happen and are done outside the media glaze. So let the interested parties wrestle it out.
Speaking of interested parties wrestling it out, sir, would it be fair to assume that the foreign interest is higher than the domestic interest, specifically as far as IDBI Bank is concerned?
No comments.
I'm trying my luck to extract as much as possible from you. So IDBI Bank, of course, as you stated, is being targeted for this financial year. What could the second candidate be, sir, from a strategic disinvestment point of view?
Wait and watch. You will hear the announcement at the right time, and we'll make the announcement through you.